Okay, I currently do not see that Steve, Cameron, or Chris have come on. Is that correct?
I don't see them either.
Nope, Steve's right here.
Steve here.
Oh,
Steve
there's
here.
Steve. Okay, sorry, didn't recognize the address. Okay.
Oh yeah, the address IQ share instead of my. Yeah, it's
That's
my
fine.
other
All right,
address.
so then we're
the
missing.
IQ share is you. Okay.
Yeah, we're missing Cameron and Chris.
Yes.
Do we know whether they should be here?
Yes. To my knowledge, they are supposed to attend. So.
All right. Well, we got about a minute or so. So, all righty. Mr. Lambert, I am ready to go whenever you are.
Okay. I'll begin the formalities, and then hopefully they'll be online when we introduce members. It is now Wednesday.
Hold on one moment. Hold on just 1 second.
Okay.
Are you, Kara, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Sorry, Mr. Lambert, go ahead.
Okay. It is Wednesday, 27 January 2021, 5 p.m. and calling the meeting of the Mount Pleasant Commercial Design Review Board to order. This meeting is being conducted virtually, as we have done quite a few times now. But this format presents some challenges that we need to be aware of. We ask that you bear with us as we navigate this territory. With that being said, we have some tips that will help to make the process more efficient. One, please mute all mics unless you are speaking. Please state your name before all statements. And for those interested in making a public statement, please follow the directions on the screen. There is a 30-second delay, so we ask that all participants be aware. With that, I will introduce the members of the Commercial Design Review Board. When I state your name, please repeat your name and say present. Mr. Ian Duncan.
Ian Duncan is present.
Is Cameron Swales online yet? I am Richard Lambert. I am present. Chris McCarthy. Not yet online, I guess. Tara Spencer.
This is Tara Spencer. I'm present.
Mr. William O'Neill.
William O'Neill, present.
And Mr. Steve Magoon.
Steve Magoon, present.
Okay, so sounds like Cameron and Chris, when they arrive, just let us know and we'll make sure that we include them on the roll. With staff, we have Miss Lynette Lyons, recording secretary.
Yep, Lynette Lyons is present.
Miss Brittany Johnson.
Yes, Brittany Johnson was staff present.
And Mr. Peter Stone of the planning department.
Stone is present.
You're not very audible, Peter. You might need to turn your mic up or something.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so the procedure for tonight's meeting is for each item that is on the agenda, I will read the title of that agenda item. There will be a staff presentation for 5 minutes. There will be an applicant presentation for 5 minutes. We will allow 3 minutes per speaker for public comments. Then we will open this for board questions members of the board may ask the applicant questions. Then, upon completion of those questions, public comment will be closed. There'll be an opportunity for the board to comment and deliberate amongst themselves. And then finally, there will be the board disposition of the request, a motion and a vote. So, formal statement to make here. A person who may have a substantial interest in any decision of the Commercial Design Review Board or any officer or agent of the appropriate governing authority may appeal from any decision of the board to the circuit court in and for the county by filing with the clerk of court a petition in writing setting forth plainly, fully, and distinctly why the decision is contrary to law. The appeal must be filed within 30 days after the affected party or his or her designated agent receives actual notice of the decision of the board. The form of the order shall be the decision of the board as rendered this evening, and the service of the order shall be the same for parties present. For parties who are not present and have requested notice of the order, a copy of the minutes shall be mailed to the party, and they will have 30 days from receipt of the order to file an appeal. Okay, next is for the board to approve of the agenda.
Mr. Lambert,
Yes.
just to let you know, Mr. Swales has entered and is in attendance.
Okay, Cameron, say your name and say present, please.
Cameron Swales, present.
Okay, thank you. The next item on the agenda is to approve the agenda. So we need a state your name on the board and make a motion to approve the agenda.
This is Tara Spencer. I make a motion to approve the agenda.
This is Rick Lambert. I second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, that's good. So the minutes are approved. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? I know there was a revised agenda set out. We have 7 items on the agenda. Is that correct? Lynette?
Yes. This is Brittany Johnson with staff. You all just approved the agenda. The next is to approve the minutes.
Okay, so yes, for approving the minutes, we need a motion and a second for approving the minutes from the last.
This is Steve Magoon. I motion to approve the minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the approval of minutes is approved. Now, are there any members of the public who would like to make any general public comment?
Mr. Lambert, there's no one waiting in the lobby.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on next to general correspondence. Is there any general correspondence?
This is Brittany Johnson with staff. There was one general correspondence which was forwarded to you all.
Okay. So next is consent motions. Are there any motions of consent to bring before the board?
Ian Duncan would like make a motion of consent to approve agenda items 1, 2, 3, and 4, incorporating all staff comments.
Do we have a second?
Steve Magoon would like to second that motion.
All right, next we need to do a roll call vote. So Lynette, could you call the roll and ask for decisions?
Certainly, I would be happy to. Mr. Duncan.
Ian Duncan votes aye.
Mr. O'Neill.
William O'Neill votes aye.
Ms. Spencer.
This is Tara Spencer. I am abstaining from item number 1, but aye for the rest.
So because it's a consent motion and includes all 4, we would have to have you just abstain for all of them unless we split the one out.
Okay, that's fine. I will abstain for all of them.
Thank you.
Lynette, correction from William O'Neill. I will also abstain from all of them.
Thank you. Mr. Magoon,
I vote aye on all of them. Steve Magoon votes aye.
Mr. Swales,
Cameron Swales, aye.
and Mr. Lambert.
Rick Lambert votes aye.
Okay, motion passed unanimously with 2 abstentions.
Okay. For any members of the public that might be tuning in or whatever, items 1, 2, 3, and 4 have been approved, subject to comments from staff being incorporated. So I think the last time we did this, there were some folks that didn't realize what just happened, but so there's no need to participate any further if you don't want to. Those items 1 through 4 are passed. That is LIDL, Regions Bank, Baker Collection, and Town Hall track improvements. So with that, we will move on to the item number 5 on the agenda, which is 512 Johnny Dodd's master plan.
Staff will begin with site comments. The master power routing plan with all easements will be required to be shown as there.
Hey, Peter.
Yep.
We're having trouble hearing you.
Okay. Is it any better now?
Not much. Brittany, do you want to go? Do you have any comments that maybe you want to go with while Peter's working on his mic?
Yeah, I can hear, and I can hear Peter clearly, but I will go ahead here. Hold on just a second. All right, architectural comments. All buildings and structures within a proposed development, including canopies, shall utilize a uniform architectural theme and shall be designed to create a harmonious whole. Harmony of style can be used to create proper consideration of massing, scale, proportion, detail, material, color, site planning, and landscaping.
Peter, any luck?
I am seeing Peter's mic is being muted right now.
Right, I think he's trying to work on a fix so that we can hear him better. Peter, any luck? Mr. Lambert, if you want, maybe we can just move to the applicant.
Well, I think on the staff report, I could just let's see here. I could just read those. Let's see here. I could just read them.
I think we might get Peter back again.
Peter,
So we'll try
Peter, try
again.
that again.
Peter back again. We'll try again.
All right. So I'm hearing an echo of my voice, and it's not me because I've got my headphones on. Shall I just go ahead and read these staff comments for item number 5?
I think we might have Peter. If you want to hold on just a minute, we'll see if he'll
Okay.
come in. Go ahead, Peter. Yeah, I think he's still having trouble. If you want to go ahead and just read
Yeah,
those.
I'll just read the site comments. A master power routing plan with all easements will be required to be shown as there are multiple utility conflicts with no resolution currently being provided. As an integrated development, internal buffers are not required, but internal street trees are required to fulfill development patterns for this commercial village. Chapter 156.310 H3B2D. In D, it says street trees will line every street to contribute to the definition of the streetscape and will be selected to create a street canopy that provides effective shade for pedestrians and vehicles. They will be planted to provide separation of the sidewalk from the street curb. The following features should also be provided in keeping with Chapter 156.310H. Street furniture, particularly in the form of benches, kiosks, drinking fountains, and trash receptacles, will be strategically placed for the benefit of pedestrians. This entire development will require 7 to 9 inches of canopy trees. The current tree retention table and plant schedule have totaled a current commitment of only 181 inches of canopy trees. No exhibit has been supplied showing an access easement that would serve the properties in this development. A tree assessment will need to be conducted for the 2 historic live oaks on site. Staff recommends preliminary approval with comments needing to be addressed. Okay, with that, we will let the applicant make their presentation. You have 5 minutes to present. I'm not seeing anything on the screen.
Lossie, I think you're muted.
Okay. Good evening, guys. This is Lossie Knight with LFK Architects. So the civil engineer, Justin Robinette with Hussey Gay Bell. Justin, are you on this presentation now? I think that given the lineup that was issued to us, I think we were 5th or 6th, so it's possible that the civil engineer is not on the line at the moment. Yeah, but I could do my best to talk through it. Obviously, I'm not qualified to deliver his message exactly, but would you like me to do a shared screen?
Lossie, Justin and Preston are on if you can hear us.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
I think typically Brittany just, they go ahead and show what has been submitted on the shared screen.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, can I get Justin, can I get their, Hussey Gay Bell, can I get their names for the record, please?
Justin Robinette and Preston Ackerman.
Thank you.
And Lossie, I can start if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Right now, guys, I don't see anything up on the screen on my side. I think it might be loading.
Well, I can start with a general conditions and history of the site. So currently it's a mostly cleared. There's a demolished building, existing asphalt. There's one existing metal structure in the northwest corner. Right now we're in for one of the 3 parcels in the master plan. The conceptual drainage, water, and sewer is shown. Each site will treat its own drainage before discharging into the existing DOT inlets. And other than that, that's really all I have to go over with until there's specific questions.
Rick, would you like me to do a shared screen and try to pull up the presentation on my side?
I'm fine with it if Brittany is.
This is Tara Spencer. I can see Peter Stone's screen. I don't know if anyone else can.
I can see it.
We can see it's going in and out. It seems like it's gray now. There's nothing up on our side, but
I've got it here.
Yeah, Lassie, why don't you present and you can share your screen.
Peter, you're coming in. This is Rick Lambert. You're coming in loud and clear on my end over here.
Yeah, finally made some adjustments.
Excellent.
okay. Can everybody happen to see my screen here?
Yes.
Yep.
Lambert here.
Okay. And as Justin mentioned, this is just the master plan submittal of the roughly 4.5 acres at 512 Johnny Dodds. And so the phasing plan is presented right here, looking at breaking it into 3 sizable parcels. And really for the master plan portion of it, there's not a lot of architectural to present, other than we wanted to sort of indicate that feel like we're able to meet the ordinance when it comes to the building frontage, activity zones, and then this new sort of entry drive that expands or protrudes through the site, and then again exits at Mathis Ferry. So everybody is probably familiar with the site itself along Johnny Dawson Highway 17. We're sort of surrounded by 2 adjacent gas stations and some small retail, and then the National Guard building behind us. Previously, the site was Miller Cadillac, so it's a big paved site with a empty slab that's left on it here. We've provided some context photos. There's about 400 linear feet of frontage along Johnny Dodds, if you can see my screen here. And then you actually can see all the way down through the site to Mathis Ferry. And again, at the bottom, you can see some of the existing context adjacent to our site along Johnny Dodds. This is a rear view of the site. I'm sure everybody's familiar with it, but this is the existing rear curb cut from the site exiting onto Mathis Ferry. This is the fuel station adjacent to our site. In the next few images, you'll see we've got the Fuel Express gas station that also fronts along Johnny Dodds, and then the Shades sunglass retail store. So from an architectural standpoint, we just wanted to sort of expand upon the civil design and show the bird's eye sort of 3-dimensionally, so everybody can see how the buildings can simply front the street. And again, this is our entry drive coming through, looking north off of Johnny Dodds. These are the 2, so we're looking at parcel number 1 here, or phase 1 for Tommy's Car Wash, which we'll be presenting, I think, following this master plan presentation. And then here we've got a potential convenience store user, and in the back, 3rd parcel, looking at that potentially being either a bank or a small restaurant type use. So the site is sufficient to allow for adequate parking and fits those uses appropriately. This is our bird's eye view from Mathis Ferry, looking back towards 17. And then one more bird's eye view. So really from an architectural standpoint, I think that wraps it up for me. Justin, from a civil, did you guys have anything else?
No, not for the master plan.
Okay.
That concludes your presentation. So next we'll entertain questions from the board. We would need to go per individual. So Ian Duncan, do you have any questions for the applicant?
I do. For one, it seems, I mean, it's not bad. It's very green, but it seems wildly inefficient. I'm curious as to what the thinking is there as far as all this green space and unused commercial area, and also what is the strategy for making up for all that mitigation? Are you just going to pay a fee, or do you think you're going to be able to get in 700 trees or whatever?
So we are, sorry, this is Preston Ackerman speaking. We are going to do what we can to get those 700 inches on the site. Each parcel will be responsible for its own landscaping. So as those come online, each, will be more planted. The buffer will be planted with phase 1 of the master plan, which is the Tommy's Car Wash and main driveway projects. And that's what you see here illustrated. So we do not yet know the use of our third parcel, which is where you see the bank layout. So it's pretty difficult for us to fill in the gaps for how, that would be landscaped.
All right, Cameron, do you have any questions for the applicant?
I don't have any questions. I got some comments though.
All right. This is Rick Lambert. I have a few questions. Just looking at this plan, I see a lot of roads. I see a road traversing the property, and then I see parking, and I see arrows, which I'm just trying to trace vehicle movements through the site, going to starting with the car wash. So you enter from Johnny Dodd's, and how do you go through the car wash? Can you show an arrow?
Yeah. Yeah, Rick, this is Lossie. If everybody can still see my shared screen, I think it might be useful
I see your cursor on there, but it's moved away. There it goes.
Okay. Do you see some three-dimensional images now?
No. I just
Sorry,
see.
Lossie, I was sharing my screen. You can share yours now.
Okay. Do a shared screen here. Okay. So if we enter off of Johnny Dodd's, you can see 17 and Johnny Dodd's in the background here. If we enter off of Johnny Dodd's,
okay.
You come in the new entry lane, and then you just take a right into these pay lanes. And so we have several pay lanes that then take you to this canopy. And really, I was thinking we would get into the details of this, in the next presentations focused on on Tommy's, but essentially you can see once you get into the pay lane, you would then enter into the wash tube and then exit. And as you exit sort of toward the north, then you have the opportunity to stop at a vacuum.
Okay. I think what was just throwing me was there were some arrows on the pavement that looked like it was going the wrong way or something. Not on this view, but on the other plan.
Okay, I see.
So that was this seems logical. How the main drive through the tract of land could become a shortcut if you're not careful, because the frontage road basically takes traffic the same direction, but it gets backed up, I know, sometimes for bridge traffic. So I just don't know how you might address, a traffic flow that would prohibit or discourage people from just using it as a cut through. If they wanted to get over to Mathis Ferry from Johnny Dodd's rather than going through the light, that sort of thing.
So you're saying to get from Mathis Ferry to Johnny Dodd's?
Well, yeah, either or, I suppose. But say if you're going down the frontage road towards the bridge, and you see, there's a traffic light ahead, and there's a lot of traffic backed up, I can just cut through this parcel and get on Mathis Ferry that way. So it just looks so easy to do, it's just a straight shot through the property to get over to Mathis Ferry.
Sure. This is Preston Ackerman speaking. There is a full access for that driveway onto Mathis Ferry, but it would be pretty difficult to turn left out of there if traffic is backed up going to the bridge.
Yes.
There will not be a stoplight. It would only be stop control with a stop sign.
Yes. And the exit on Johnny Dodds, there will be no left turn onto the frontage road?
Correct.
Is that what I'm seeing? Okay. All right. That's all of my questions. Chris McCarthy, do you have any questions?
Chris is having some technical difficulties.
Oh, so that's right. He's not on board yet. So, Ms. Tara Spencer, do you have any questions for the applicant?
This is Tara Spencer. Rick, that was actually my question too, was the road that cuts through the site. I was going to ask if there was going to be traffic lights put in place, because I agree that when traffic gets backed up from the bridge, I know that Johnny Dodds gets backed up right there, turning onto that light at Houston Northcutt. So people might take advantage of that and then turn out onto Mathis Ferry to make a right turn onto the frontage road to get to the bridge.
It just looks so easy to do, doesn't it?
It does look so easy.
Yeah.
Has there been any consideration of putting speed bumps or things to slow traffic down through the site?
Not at this time. We would prefer to keep the traffic free flowing because we will have, a fuel truck coming through. But the roadway itself would be, minimal speed as it is. It's somewhat tight turns through the site, and then it's only a 2-lane street.
Right.
So, these are site considerations that will keep you, at a reasonable speed, but we had not yet considered speed bumps.
Okay. That's the end of my questions.
Okay. William, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Has the applicant met with SCDOT regarding ingress egress movement locations? I noticed the RIRO on the Johnny Dodds Frontage Road.
Yes, we've been back and forth with them. Both driveway locations are where they are based on DOT's. They've approved our sketch plan basically, and those are based on their dimensions and requirements for site distance and driveway to driveway spacing, things such as that. So.
Okay, that's my only question.
Okay. Steve Magoon, do you have any questions for the applicant? Is Steve online with us?
Sorry about that, guys. I was talking on mute.
Okay.
Again. So this is quite the large car wash with 35 vacuums. Am I counting that right? 25 vacuum spaces. And that road out at Mathis Ferry, do you know if that's a concrete median? So that making that left-hand turn not right? I mean, you can't turn left? I know I saw a median picture in one of these, but I didn't know if it was painted or it was concrete.
This is Preston Ackerman speaking. So there is a small concrete median at the intersection, but it does not extend the full distance to our access driveway.
But that is a through turn lane, it looks like on that picture you just had. So it is a 2-lane cross from Mathis Ferry going left.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, it's not going to be any fun.
Is that all of our questions?
That's all my questions. Thanks, Rick.
Okay. At this time, we'll open the public to any questions or comments. Yeah, if there are any members of the public who would like to comment, you have 3 minutes to speak. Is there anybody waiting in the lobby?
We have no one waiting in the lobby.
Okay, so next, we'll close public comment and we'll open this to the board to discuss. If you have any comments to make, we'll go back through the list. Ian, do you have any comments or deliberation that you'd like to share with the board?
Yeah, Ian has traffic concerns and also just, convenience store and car wash concerns, especially in this area. I mean, how many quickie marts and car washes are we going to allow as a gateway to Mount Pleasant? This is big time Floridization of the town, which I'm trying to fight tooth and nail.
Cameron, do you have any comments of deliberation to discuss with the board?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of traffic to figure out. I don't love if I have to hang a left out of this place. I got to go to Mathis Ferry, hang a left across Mathis Ferry, and then hang another left down Johnny Dodds just to try to go up the road to CVS. There is another, I know, Rick, you were worried about them cutting through. There's another road right behind that they could also do that same cut through situation with. So I'm not really worried about people cutting through as much as I am that this is a lot of road. But other than that, I don't like the two gas stations back to back right there. I think that's a Shell and then this new gas station. I think it's going to be a lot of congestion with the gas station and the car wash coming out. Maybe look at flipping where that bank's trying to go and put it where the gas station is at. I don't know how you would work that, but it seems there's going to be a lot of congestion with the gas station and the car wash. That's pretty much all I had.
This is Rick Lambert. I really have expressed my only comments and concerns with my questions. So next we'll move on to Ms. Tara Spencer. Do you have any deliberation comments for the board?
Yes, this is Tara Spencer. I'm gonna do what Ian said earlier. I was excited at the prospect of maybe a restaurant going on this parcel in lieu of a bank. I feel like banks, car washes, gas stations, I feel like there's a lot of those, at least in this area near the parcel. So maybe turning this parcel into something that I think maybe won't have as much congestion or traffic running through it. I am a little worried about the access drive. I don't know, I just feel like there might have to be a way to slow people down. I can see that being a big issue when the traffic backs up on the bridge. But besides that, those are my only comments.
All right, William, do you have any comments or deliberation for the board?
Yeah, I'm kind of speaking to the board members, but we don't control use on a site. This site is zoned AB2, which supports fuel as well as car washes. It's been for sale for years, plural, and I don't think that, in my opinion, is in our purview. While I agree with all of your statements, I don't think that's technically within our realm of what our purview is. As for my comments, I would encourage the applicant to run auto turn on the next iteration. Specifically, a fuel truck through the site. Also run a car through the car wash to see what the tracking is. I think that's something we would like to see. I think they should explore a raised crosswalk as a traffic calming device to prohibit cut-throughs and more movements off this property that could potentially lead to wrecks. So there's a crosswalk essentially located in the property that could be a elevated crosswalk used as a traffic calming device. I don't know much about Tommy's, and I know that this particular motion we're making here is about the master plan, not necessarily Tommy's, but I would like to see the activation of some of the green areas, whether it's creating a little pocket park or outdoor bench seating area or something. If someone's waiting for their car to get serviced, it's nice to have a little pocket park where you sit and wait if it's getting detailed. So there's quite a few areas, specifically beside the convenience store and the center island where the cars curl around by Tommy's. The large oak tree has green space around it that could be activated. I'd just love to see the applicant explore those options. And then earlier to the comment made by Ian on 730 inches, I think he's kind of onto something there. I mean, if you take 730 inches divided by 4-inch trees, that's 183 trees divided by 3 sites. That's 61 trees per site. We're talking serious trees. So I think before we come back to final, y'all are going to have to take a look at see if you can fit 61, 70, 80 trees per site for 3 sites. I mean, that's significant. But I would defer to Ian as that's his area of expertise. That's all my comments.
All right, so with that, we will entertain a motion. Would somebody on the board like to make a motion on this project?
Hey, Rick, hold on 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I want to make 2 comments as well.
Okay, is this Chris?
Steve Magoon.
Oh, Steve, okay. Oh, I thought I already called on you. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yes.
I kind of want to follow up with that exactly is with all those trees coming in, I was more concerned about green space. There's an awful lot of asphalt on this lot. I was hoping that we could do a little bit more with green space and with the trees and taking up some of that. Also, I've got a concern about the pedestrian walk. I'm not really sure why people would walk up Johnny Dodds there, but the especially without a turn lane, the crossing of that intersection may be a little challenging over on the Johnny Dodds side. And also, there's no way to get back onto 17. Let me see what you have to do. You have to come around the Shell station and Mathis Ferry. I guess that's normal then. But that's the only comments I had.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, also, I wanted to chime in one more. This is Ian about the activity zone. It seems like maybe the back of a C-store could work, but a car wash, I know William mentioned that this decent point about waiting, but that's a lot of paving for an activity zone that's not an activity zone. You know, that's not a connected dining area or anything like that. I wonder if that money and green space would be better served if it were, conglomerated and dedicated into one big, nice thing rather than having to, just satisfy that activity zone because of the code. It seems like these 2 buildings don't actually, warrant it.
Well, that kind of brings up another point. That's an awful large car wash. What is going to be in there in the corners and a coffee shop or whatever in the corners or something that would condone either dining outside, sitting outside? Do we know that? Or do we care yet?
That's going to be the next presentation.
Okay.
So maybe we just hold off that discussion until the next one.
Yeah, this is Ian. I'm just not sure what kind of motion to make, honestly. I know we don't get to choose what goes there. William's right, but I'm also trying hard to save Mount Pleasant from becoming Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, this is Brittany Johnson with staff. If you would like me to provide some information, would that be helpful?
Certainly.
Okay. So again, as William stated, so use is not particularly in your purview, but what is in your purview is to make sure that the use is as best as it can be. So if you all are looking at adding more green space, looking at manipulating the activity zones in a way that you feel would be more useful in activating the public realm, making sure that your, the pocket park suggestions, things of that nature, those things would be within your purview. Again, this is going for a preliminary approval, so you can mention those items that you would like to see in the next submittal. Again, I heard auto turn, things that you think would help make the site function in the best way possible. So just keeping that in mind, but unfortunately use is not within your purview.
So we cannot propose a moratorium on car washes?
No. Sorry
I'm
about
running for
that.
city council next. That's
Okay.
next.
Well, there you go.
Well, as Ian, I guess, yeah, I think if these guys want to look into it, do their auto turn, take a look at the trees and come back, I'd be okay with that.
So, hey, Ian. Yeah, Ian, this is William, and I'm just deliberating with the rest of the board members, which I don't think we're quite ready to make a motion, but
yeah,
we're here for preliminary. Sounds like they got some work before they come back for final regarding some of the comments they've heard about, traffic flow and green space and pocket parks. Ian, do you want to give any more feedback to the applicant regarding